Hello, welcome to Size Me. Now today we're just going to go through a really quick, simple hack that changes the Vienne blouse into a little mini dress or a longer dress if you like. It's really floaty, nice and easy to wear, and it's a really little simple hack. I've made it a little bit complicated just so that you can see a whole process, but don't be disheartened by that. Your blouse has 4 pattern pieces. So first of all, let's talk about the neck binding. We're going to keep that exactly the same, so you don't need to make any adjustments to that one, guys. That's exactly the same. Then we're going to look at the sleeve. So the sleeves are quite long, sort of an inch or so past your elbow. You can decide how short or long you want that to be. What I wanted to say was, don't measure from these points here. Measure up from the bottom how much you want to take it, because this line is straight. And we know if we take up the same amount on each of those, we're going to end up with a straight line again. So I actually took mine up quite a lot. So I took mine up by 22 centimetres. So mine was all the way up here. So that's just a simple one. I'll measure 22 up here, put a line, the same on the other side, and joined them together. And then that was my sleeve for the hack. We start to get a little bit complicated then. And the first thing that I did, get this in shot, was I drew around the front of my blouse. So I'm hopeful that you can see this is the neck edge and the arm side, and then we come down here, and hopefully you can see that pink line, and that was where the original blouse ended. Hopefully you can also see I did also transfer the stitch line that creates the frill down the front, and I added my fold symbol so that when I make it I don't go wrong. Oh, and I also wrote what pattern piece it was here, so this says front. Now I'll just come around here so hopefully you can see. This is the blouse that the pattern's for, and I decided if I went straight down it would probably be a little tight over my hips, so I decided to add an inch either side of the side seams so that it would just skim past my hips. Now that's a decision that you can make yourself. You may be able to go straight down, you might want it to flare out even more, but that's a decision for you to make. So I decided to add 4 inches in total, so one here, and then the same at the back, so that was 4 inches. So what that means is that on this front pattern piece I add 1 inch to the side. So that was the first thing that I did, and that's here. So I followed the pink line across, measured 1 inch and put a dot there. I then took my big ruler, if I can find it. There we go. And I drew a line that matched the top here, matched the inch line that I made there, and then continued all the way, as long as my ruler actually. It's best if you do it with a meter ruler because you've got that opportunity to go further, because the next thing we're going to talk about is the length of the actual dress that you want to make. Now I actually took, this is the pattern I did use to make the dress, but whilst I was making it I think I took about 6 inches off the bottom because I decided it was too long. But the way to decide how long you want it is to place a ruler or a tape measure at your neck here and decide whereabouts down your body you want it to be. Now I think I did 23 inches or something on this, but as I say I knocked 6 of them off. So you have a think how long short you want it to be, and then you're just simply going to measure from this point all the way down until you get to the length that you require. You're then going to draw, I'll do it here, can you see? So let's say I wanted it this long. I'm going to draw a line from the point at which my measurement for how long the dress was all the way across until it hits the line that I drew, taking into account the extra inch. Once you've drawn that line, I want you to add 2 centimetres below it, and that's for your seam allowance. And then you will have the front pattern for your Florence blouse hack. Just to point out, I did leave, this is the line for the frill. I always leave it away from the hem because otherwise you can get pull on there. So, hi Johnny. I'm even in a different place, but he has to come and say hi. If you take that all the way down to the bottom, it's really difficult to hem it, or else you find it difficult to walk because it's a little bit too tight. So you can judge that, but if I've left 10 centimetres there, you can decide which is best for you. Before I move this piece, what I want you to do, once you've cut your front out, I would like you to measure how long this side seam is here. And that's important. So once you've got that measurement, we need a fresh piece of paper. Johnny boy, you're going to have to move babies away. Don't worry guys, he'll be back. Let's make sure we can get this in shot. Right, there we go. So again, I've drawn on the back of the blouse that I have on. That's the pink, the original one. I've put my fold symbol, and I've also annotated that it's the back that we're looking at. Come to the bottom and I've added my inch again here, and that's how I've got that point. I've then taken the ruler exactly like I did on the other piece, and I've drawn all the way down as long as I can go with the ruler. Now, this is where the measurement that we took earlier is important. So this edge needs to be as long as the one on the front. So we're going to measure along the line we've just drawn accurately so that those two side seams match. So let's say that it was 22 inches. I'll go from here, I'll go down, and I'll mark the 22 inches. And then I found it easier to get the hemline by using the front piece. So what I did, because it does two things, it checks that I've got this side seam the right length. So I've just lined those up, and yep, they're the correct length. And then I can draw along the bottom, making sure that this part is square, and that's why I use that as a template. So once you've done that, you've done it, you're ready to go. All of the instructions for making it are exactly the same as making the blouse. So if you step back and have a look at that tutorial, you'll be able to have a look. I'll pop some stills at the beginning and end of this as well, so that you can see the blouse. It's a bit too chilly here today for wearing the dress, sorry, because look, can you see the snow outside? So I didn't wear the dress today, but I will pop the stills in there. If you've got any questions, just add it to the comments and I'll get back to you. But hopefully you'll be able to get a dress as well as a blouse from your Vienne pattern. All right, guys, see you soon.